Okay, thank you very much for the invite. My name is Pieter Spinder. I'm from Knowmads Business School Amsterdam. And I want to tell you a little bit about my view on education, which is a little bit different than regular views on education, because I don't only believe in the heart, in the head, but I also believe in the heart and the hands. So, what's happening actually is, first I want to show you a short piece from Shel Silverstein. You can read it yourself.
Because you're not showing your presentation.
So, if your voice after my presentation speaks inside like, okay, the guy's talking crap, this is probably the right voice. But if you might think like, okay, hey, this might be something for me, you can also connect to Anna Portillos. She's one of our ex-students at the Knowmads Business School. But this poem, or this writing, actually says a lot about, according to me, how we should treat people when they start in a school. Also, very much connected to that is the word educo. Educo is the meaning of it is I rise up and I conduct. But most of the time in regular education, the I is the teacher. Yes. Yeah.
You might want to show us your presentation because we didn't try that.
I show it.
Oh no, we have to activate it again. It's like you have to share your screen.
Ooh. Oh yeah. Oh.
Stop the time and
Yes. Please. Ah, there was no poem. Okay, one moment. I'll need to go to... Yeah, I did it before, so probably how to do it. Start. How is... Yes, there it is. I will. Okay, thank you. Excuse. Now it's better? You see it now? Thank you so much. I'll stop my time because I will be very secure about the 7 minutes. Okay, so we start again. As I told you, we started in education 5.5 years ago, which is not completely about ratio, it's not completely about head, but it's also about head and heart and hands. And the poem, I hope that you will get it now. Here it is. So as I said, it might be that after this presentation you think that I'm talking crap, and then this voice which speaks in you for sure is right, or anything in between. Because I think that what happens in education is too much ratio-centered and too less connected to the heart and connected to action. So I will also want to connect this to the word educo. In regular education, from primary school, secondary school until universities, the I in this educo, like I lead, I take out, or I conduct, most of the time is connected to the lecture of the students. Well, actually, according to me, it is very much connected to the one who wants to learn. So we are taking a different stance in how we approach education and how we want to work together actually with the students and have also really the students into the lead of their own learning journey. And it started actually by we asked ourselves and one of the most important questions was like, what is education doing now, and does it give us the tools to cope with the future? Today I also talked with, I gave an interview to somebody and I said like, I discovered yesterday that there were this week 30 new books, economy books, being published, which are all based on Keynes. Well, actually, it's a little bit old-fashioned. So the thing is like, okay, does it really help us? Do we really facilitate young people with tools to cope with the future? Because we think that education needs to be human-centered. It needs to be the student in the center of his and her learning. And it's very much connected to personal development. It's connected to one person in a group, or in a tribe, as they call themselves in Amsterdam, in the Knowmads Business School, connected to each other and say, okay, who am I? What's my story? And how do I want to bring this into the world? Which is also very much connected to not only teachers or workshop givers. We have a lot of them, which also visit Knowmads, but I will tell a little bit more about it later. But it's also about peer-to-peer learning. It's about who's in the room, and there's a lot of knowledge in the room most of the time. Also, education needs, according to me, it needs to be action-orientated. So it needs to be something which we learn, something which we feel, or something which we put into action, with the possibility to apply everything in it and see, like, okay, is this working for me? Is this working for us? Is it working for the world? And we have called Knowmads wigwam, like a tent, which is very much connected to two triangles. Like one triangle is very much about the heart, the head, and the hands. And the other one is very much about idealism and dreams, which most of the time comes from the heart. Talent, which is a lot of times connected to the head, but also to the hands. That's why you see the different arrows. And also hands, very much connected to discipline, to do stuff, to put stuff into the world. And to do this, we need to have an open and appreciative communication to each other. So there's no need to say like, okay, I'm the teacher, I know better, or it's very much about, instead of downloading information or debating about yes or no, is it correct or is it incorrect, it's very much about dialoguing with each other and saying, okay, what's happening in the room, what do we need, and how can we put this really into the world? So at Knowmads, education starts with the individual in a group setting. We call it self-directed learning. So the students, what happens is, because when they come in, they don't know what they don't know, so we facilitate the first 2.5 months where people can see like, okay, where is it actually about? And we are very much about 4 questions which we ask ourselves. And these questions, instead of a curriculum, are based on questions which we think that everybody once in his or her life asks him or herself. So these are the 4 questions where we are working with. And these questions are connected to themes. Also, when you try to promote your school, it's very unhandy to come up with a curriculum which is kind of an empty page. We came up with these questions and we said, okay, to what subjects do these questions connect according to us? And we put the words which are out there, which people recognize, we put in between the questions. So we said, sustainability and social innovation is actually about the world we live in. It is about personal leadership, and the connection, which is very easily made this way by companies, is like, okay, we have an HRM department, we have a department of marketing and creativity, we have a department concerning to new business design. So these are in a rough setting, let's say, these are the questions which we ask ourselves. And we started in 2010 with Tribe 1, and now we are 5.5 years further. We started a school in Berlin. We started 2 weeks ago, we started in Sevilla. 1.5 years ago, we started in Hanoi. We have 80 alumni, and all these schools are also started by alumni. And we are putting stuff into the world which we believe in, because when people come in Knowmads, we think that they learned a lot of crap in universities, in their lives, in their jobs. What we want to do is we want to crystallize everything which somebody learned, and then put a little bit of more fire into the flame which everybody has in him or herself. So actually the only thing what we do at Knowmads is we blow into the fire, we do, and then it starts happening. And my invitation is for everybody to put this into practice into his or her life. So this was my presentation, exactly 7 minutes and 15 seconds.